Hello, hello. It's the middle of the night over here at least. It's kind of time to go to bed, but I won't have any time tomorrow because I'm gonna be out of the house. Gonna be visiting my dad. It's Father's Day in Germany. So the only time we have to do this stream, to break down this adventure for you guys, is now, because I'm gonna be out for 2 days. And yes, I'm sacrificing sleep for this. This is not a joke or something, but that's all good. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna look at how this adventure is gonna go. All right, this is where I am, and you know this because we've done this the last couple of times for the festival. The only difference is I have 5 tokens to play this encounter because I needed 3 energy refreshes today. So that's quite a lot, to be honest. This was not the easiest adventure by any stretch of the imagination, but I enjoyed it a lot again. I haven't tried the legendary encounter yet, but I'm pretty confident that with 5 attempts we can get there, maybe even with a perfect score. Although I have to admit that Katsuma is somewhat scary, but we're going to be able to kick her butt as well. Alright, before we do that, let's break it down one encounter after another. This is 16 minutes. I cut this very tight for you guys because I actually want to go to bed eventually. So let's give this a watch. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you have some other strategies to break down these encounters, also let me know. So here we go. This is encounter number 1. Let's turn this down. We can only deploy rogues. This is like a trend. I think I complained once or twice that I don't like when the restrictions become too restrictive. In the higher level or higher rarity encounters, I prefer it when the restrictions are in place for the common encounters, because then it's like much easier to fulfill these restrictions. And it seems like Kyle, the designer of this adventure, was like, okay, let's do that. So that's the first encounter. Very straightforward. We just use 3 rogues. Everybody goes in. Bam, bam, bam. Everybody dead. And that's already it. So that's common encounter number 1. Now we're continuing with common encounter number 2. We cannot deploy any heroes that are mounted. And the way I read this meant we can either play Accio or Sir Matt. Those are the 2 mounted heroes that I keep playing over and over and over again. Alright, start with Accio, clean out the bottom side, try to clean out the top side, doesn't really work with Queen Akeshru, but, and now look at the positioning again. I've done this a million times before, I always explain this to you guys. If there's an enemy and you want to connect with Runner Clue, place Runner Clue behind the enemy that you're turning into a shade. So there's the maximum amount of space between your unit and the enemy. Yes, this might not always work, but the chances are this is going to work. Also, there was a chance that the extra shade that was spawning here is spawning here, and then it's impossible for this guy, almost impossible for this guy to get to Runner Clue. You just want to make it as hard as possible for the enemy to connect with your units. Alright, then we are risking it all, because every time you shoot with Snazzbang, you risk that Snazzbang is going to set his own tile on fire. Although, this adventure is kind of interesting, in the sense that, also this is a misplay, you should always go for the weaker unit with whoever you got and then kill the stronger summon with Runner Clue. In this adventure it seems like Snazzbang was nerfed to a certain degree, because when you click on him, more often than not he only had a 20% crit rate. That at least was the case for me, so I guess they kind of nerfed him, because otherwise this adventure might as well be impossible. Alright, that takes us to common encounter number 3. I didn't even see the requirements. I think it's red heroes, if I'm not mistaken. And that is indeed the case. Yes, we can only deploy red heroes. This is a trickier encounter. It took me a little while to figure this out. And then we're going here with Sunshine to set some tiles on fire, do some damage to these enemies. Then we also have, what's his name? Salvo, and finishes these guys. Salvo's effect, very random, but you can improve your chances of hitting who you want to hit by attacking someone that is standing close to the site. So I make this mistake very often, also with Voyasa. Voyasa affects 6 random tiles in the same sense. Salvo like attacks a tile, and then in 2 tiles that are like 2 spaces away from the original tile, he's throwing another bomb. And then in 2 tiles that are 2 tiles away from the tiles that we just talked about, he's throwing another bomb, which is really awkward. He can even friendly fire himself to death, which is crazy. Such a weird unit. And if you're attacking close to the corner, these other two tiles are going to be here, 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 here. So very close to the original attack target, basically. There's no chance that the extra friendly or extra bomb lands in the back here. This is not going to happen. So you're increasing your chances that you're going to hit another viable target. So if you're using a unit like Salvo or Voyasa, sometimes you can reduce the randomness that is built into their effects by using it closer to the corner of the map. So I hope that made any sense. It took me a while to figure this out, but I hope it works for you guys. All right, so now we're using Maivara, who's an absolute MVP here. Look at this. And then we were again lucky with no crits from Snazzbang. And the landmine is the most important part of his effect here, because it stops Shun from advancing towards us and killing our units. And that already means that we're done with uncommon encounters, and we are now continuing with the uncommon encounters. One of my favorite new conditions, to be honest. We can only deploy heroes that are mechanics, because it's a really nice showcase for what this little unit can do. And eventually I will remember what the name was. Static Crackle. Static Crackle, yes. So we're building ourselves a little castle in the top corner of the map. At first, like the first time I played this, I didn't even realize that there was high ground here. And then we're just using Snazzbang to constantly repair our cannon. While Static Crackle is taking care of these guys because they cannot run through. There's some thorns on the one hand, and on the other hand, we are constantly replacing landmines here. Okay, so we got 2 more turns. I'm still not trying to risk it, and I'm still not attacking with Snazzbang. This is basically what I'm doing here. I'm just constantly saying, okay, I don't want to attack with Snazzbang. So the enemies are moving in, but this is good for us because they end up walking on mines. And now we need to be very careful because there's still 5 enemies and this is our last turn. So we take the first one out. There's 4 more enemies. This guy we can safely ignore because he's standing on fire. Snazzbang takes 1 guy out. And then Static Crackle takes both of these guys out. And then the fire takes care of the last guy. And in the end, with a little bit of luck, to be honest, we are ending up with the lightning victory. But the important takeaway here was shoot as little as possible with Snazzbang, because whenever you shoot, there's a chance that you're going to set your own tile on fire. Alright, that takes us to uncommon encounter number 2, where we have to deploy ranged heroes. Now there was a time when deploy ranged heroes meant auto win. That's what I remember at least. And I guess Kyle hasn't watched too many of these videos, because most of the encounters where you can deploy ranged heroes were relatively hard in this adventure. So we are using Snazzbang. We are again super lucky. No crits out of 3 targets. I don't really get it. At some point I was like, did they nerf this ability? Like nerf by making it worse, which doesn't really make any sense. It almost appears like that. I was constantly getting lucky with no crits. I guess there are other ways to make this work. Yeah, but obviously I'm not complaining. So now placing the Nixie tree to make it a little bit harder for the enemies from top to connect with us. One of them is even shooting themselves in the foot by hitting the tree. And now we have like 4 more attackers for 3 more enemies. I mean, this is some odds that are in our favor, so this shouldn't be the hardest job in the world. We also still have the active of Queen Akeshru, and that gets the job done. Which means lightning victory, first attempt, perfect score. So that's what I like about this. All right, just give me a second. This is uncommon encounter number 3, and now we need to play rogues. It's supposed to be a very hard battle, but I think that's going to change once we start deploying some heroes here. Yeah, now it's already easy. This is a relatively hard encounter. I again did not see that there was a high ground here. I thought I can just walk 2 spots forward and then hit this guy with a landmine. That was the idea behind Static Crackle. Didn't really work out. You want to get as many summons from kicks as possible, that's kind of important. And then you want to make it even harder for your enemies to move in by placing some webs here, which we are immediately going to get rid of. Oh, actually they're not going to get rid. We're just adding on top of webs, we're also adding landmines. Talk about like making it hard for your opponent to come through here. Alright, Katsuma is taking out this guy. And we could now do something I thought about, like, do we want to go for a supply drop, but I guess not. Imagine streaming now while I'm 8 out of 10 drunk. Hi, hey Raisin, hey. Good to see you, man. I saw your video of the breakdown of the common and uncommon encounters. I have to admit I didn't watch it. I only saw that it went live because I was busy working on this one. Alright, here we cannot move in. And also there is a chance that our enemy is gonna shoot our parry, but to do so he needs to step on the landmine. So it looks pretty good for us. And now we're going for the supply drop just because we can. Yeah, that's the good thing about Static Crackle. Sometimes you cannot do anything else. You may as well just use the supply drop instead of just giving up your turn. That's why this is like kinda a good ability. Kinda. Alright, we're done with common and uncommon, so we're now working on the rare encounters. This time we have to play... Oh, this is Heroes from the Hive faction. I didn't even know this at first. Okay, so we want to again luck out and not get any crit hits. That's kind of important. Then I'm using Bassi Klonkson and place a landmine. My Bassi is kind of strong. I've shown my Bassi a couple of times. People keep sending me messages. How did you do that? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And then we want to keep controlling the enemies with landmines. So this is perfect. This is perfect. They cannot walk around this spot, and they can only walk through the middle if they get past Bassi. So now we're in a really good position. So we can place ourselves in the back. Now we're on a clock because the enemies are dead. And that means we're going for the mines, and that works. And yeah, really weird strategy. I'm not sure if this is going to work for everyone, but I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Good timing. Hey, I just failed the legendary level twice. I didn't try it yet. It's so strange that you cannot attack to prevent burning. Yeah, it's the burning is a bit of a problem. But there was at least one encounter. I think it's rare 4 where I was really proud of myself. The weirdest thing about this is that I suggested this to Kyle in a conversation in the past. And I was like, do you know what would be fun? And I don't know if he remembered that. I'm not trying to take credit for it. I'm not saying it was me. I'm just saying this happened. I actually talked with him about this. Again, I'm risking it all with a shot by Snazzbang. But my Snazzbang never crits in this adventure. I don't know what's wrong with him, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Alright, that means we're at rare encounter number 3, and now we know we can only deploy red heroes. This is the encounter? Is it the encounter? Yes, this is the encounter. This is the only time where I didn't cut out selecting my units. Because people are like, wait a sec, what did you do? Are you drunk or something? No, I'm not. I am not drunk. This is the strategy. We're using Agna to absorb the fire of Snazzbang. I mean, come on. Come on. I was really proud of myself. And like I said, I suggested this to Kyle at some point. I said, hey, you can actually use Snazzbang together with Agna. It's like a wombo combo. It's not a good combo, but it's like kind of like a combo. So Agna actually has a shield. This is a graphical bug that we have at the moment in the game. I think you could even move in with Agna because you can tank one hit. But why should you? You can just retreat and play this strategically. Then you check who can one-shot who. You figure out that Snazzbang can one-shot one guy, and then Agna can one-shot the other guy or kill the other guy together with my aura. It's not a one-shot. Then it's fine. Alright, that was rare encounter number 3. One of the hardest ones, but once you got the right strategy, like, manageable. There's more tricky encounters ahead. This is rare encounter number 4. I thought this was also fairly hard, but he can see, by the way, did you see that? 20%. 20%. It's like someone nerfed Snazzbang and his second weapon wasn't applied because I equipped him with 2 20% weapons and a ring. I think an uncommon ring. But it doesn't make any sense that he only has 20%. But still, I'm not complaining. Then, Pari is the MVP here because Pari can take out most of these gunners, not all of them. And now we need to get lucky because we need to have a frog. And then we need to also stun these enemies because otherwise they're going to take care of the frogs. And that's like enough that we can do to give the enemy something to do. So they will not just move in and overrun us. So this encounter is not super easy, but once you figure these things out, it's relatively easy. Okay, 3 enemies remaining. We have 5 attackers. Again, looks like a pretty good trade. First one is taken down by Umanu. Snazzbang is taking care of the second one. And then always attack with Giggs first and then with Pari. Because Pari is actually doing physical damage, which means she's doing more damage when Giggs is in play. Alright. It was rare encounter number 4. Quite happy with how this turned out. It's not your Snazzbang adventure, everyone gets the same preset. Oh yeah, that makes sense, yes. That's true, we always get like a unit that has like set stats. So this was a 5-minute video if I remember correctly. and I cut it down to 2 minutes because I needed 5 minutes to just like look at the units and figure out where do I move my units. In the end, we're going with Cleaner Cashrew. We're always going Darkness when we can because it's just so reliable. It's just so reliable. Then we're thinking about landmines and frogs. So we go frogs first and landmines second. And this is now making it relatively hard for the enemies from the top to connect with us. Landmines are like really blessing in disguise. And then Runner Clue, again, you're placing Runner Clue behind the unit you're touching. So these 3 guys are more inclined to walk towards the shade. We're really lucky here that nobody is shooting any of our units. But this is what happens more often than not. The AI really, really likes to not attack our units. And now I felt like, yeah, okay, I got this. But I didn't. I didn't quite yet have this. So we're using Omano to clean out at the bottom. We cannot connect with this guy because obviously we would have to step on our own landmine, at least not with Runner Clue. So we are instead thinking, which unit is the right one. We're attacking with kicks, that seems like a good play. Then we are attacking with Runner Clue, hoping for a crit, but that didn't hit. And then we can go for Queen Akeshru, but he blocks. So this is not looking good. And now I'm thinking about, do I attack with Snazzbang? And I end up with the conclusion that it does not make any sense and that it's smarter to not attack. So it's enemy turn, but nothing happens. They just shoot at some shades, and then afterwards our summons are moving in, and that gives us the lightning victory. Sometimes it is better to not attack. And sometimes it's the exact opposite, which we are going to see in the next encounter, which is epic encounter number 1. This one is a bit of a challenge. You need red heroes and they need to be rogues. I tried a lot in this encounter. I was leveling Steady Crackle to level 24, 25, something like that, and she was 15 at the start of the day. To try and like control the guys on the left side and place landmines strategically here in the front so they cannot move in. And then on the right side I wanted to use Snazzbang and place some more mines. And then during my runs I realized that my Vara is just one-shotting everybody. So once you figured that out and you know, okay, my Vara has 5 guaranteed kills or more or less guaranteed kills. You only need another unit that can get some guaranteed kills, and that's where Salvo comes in again, if you happen to have him. If you don't have Salvo, I honestly don't know how to do this encounter, because this seemed like the best approach to me. I think Steady Crackle has some potential, but she needs to be built. She needs to be like an epic, and I'm minus epic, but I don't want to level her to 35. I mean, that's just too much work. So, the core thing here is positioning, because you want to attack from high ground. Because even though you're attacking just one guy, you always get the high ground bonus for every attack. Now this doesn't look like much, but we like did some damage here. Then we're again super lucky with no Snazzbang crit hit. Like I said, I cannot tell you guys how to do this. Alright, and now watch this. We went with my Vara to the right side, and this ensured that all of these guys are get cleaned out, because she's got 1, 2, 3 range. So she could not hit the guys at the bottom. And they now have to move up the bridge. And that's where these landmines are coming in and why they are so crucial. And now this is pretty easy to win, actually, because this guy is going to self-destruct if he walks on anything. And also we still got Salvo. And Salvo has a really good chance of doing shrapnel damage. Shrapnel? Yes. And that would mean that if you hit this guy, there's a good chance that he's going to hit this other guy. Steady Crackle would be better, but my Steady Crackle is not built. And I want to keep it that way. So Salvo is getting lucky somewhat. We take out the second guy, and then I thought about it, but obviously the only way to hit him is walking into our own landmines. And since we're not the AI, we know how to not do that. And we just stand there and watch him suicide, because that's a pretty good strategy if you're asking me. Which takes us to epic encounter number 2, where we're not allowed to play Runner Clue. I take that personally, to be honest. I take that personally. This, however, is a very easy encounter. You can play Bullmon. You can play almost any unit with the exception of Runner Clue. So we can play Bullmon, which ensures that we're taking out 2 enemies with the exception of Grandma Bones. And then we still have Snazzbang and Gigs. And if you've ever seen or ever like played Arena or something, you know that this is an absolutely deadly combo. Snazzbang goes first, and then Gigs goes second, the other way around. And then you can move Bullmon in and eat. And that's it. It's relatively easy. This is not like some, I don't know, there's no magic to this. This is pretty straightforward. And that takes us to epic encounter number 3, which we are also finishing on our first attempt, just like the encounter that we just hired. which was the epic encounter number 2. We are required to play ranged heroes, which means you always, whenever you can, want to bring Nixie, because Nixie is great. You can take some damage and you can heal it back. And that's so important. In theory, Tavarinci would be an option here, but these gunners, the gunners are not fun. You don't want to give these gunners any wiggle room, so let's do this a little bit differently. Hey, Tributaco, hi. So we're going in with Queen Akeshru. She's not quite strong enough to take out the gunners, so we are instead going with Snazzbang. We're again risking it. This time it's not much of a risk, because we can heal Snazzbang even if he burns. So we're now taking care of the left side, courtesy of Queen Akeshru and Snazzbang and Giggs, and the right side is under control thanks to a tree. That's how it works apparently. So here an option would be using the active of Tim. Thanks for this video, you are awesome. No worries. Thank you. So we're moving Tim in. And I thought about using the active, but I'm always afraid that I'm damaging my own tree. I will never figure this out, that you do not do friendly fire, even with an AoE like Tim's. So you can actually damage your own tree with Tim's effect, as far as I'm aware. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a good chance I'm wrong. Okay, and then we just move in. And we are controlling this. It's not like the worst thing that could happen right now is that all the enemies are suiciding by hitting the tree, but that's not going to happen. And now we can just control this down. And I was like, oh, I think I got this. This looks pretty good. We still have 3 more turns, which is ridiculous, by the way. Snazzbang goes in, hits one, Tim heals, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I won. And now I'm realizing, ooh, there's that unit on the board. And this was my exact response. I was really like, what? Where did this other unit come from? So we just have to repeat the last turn. We're again healing our unit. That's where Nixie comes in. Leaving a life blossom. Okay, everybody's at full health, just double checking, and then we can shoot and win this encounter. And in the end, that gives us the perfect score in this encounter as well. And basically, this is the end of this video. Basically, that leaves us exactly where we are right now with the legendary encounter that I haven't tackled yet. But like I said, we have 5 tickets, and if everything goes wrong, we have another ticket in an hour. So we just have to play or spend an hour in the meantime and between time doing other stuff. I don't think we're going to do that. I don't plan to be up in an hour still. I need some sleep. So with that, let's tackle is the word I'm looking for. Let's tackle the legendary encounter. I actually did some homework. I went over my units. I'm pretty certain that I want to play Naevis, because Naevis allows me to hit Katsume while staying out of range of Katsume. So that's one of the units I definitely want to bring to this encounter. There's a lot of summons in this encounter, so I think that Umano is a good choice. Her weapon is not very important, because we're relying on her active. That's at least the theory. I haven't seen the encounter yet. Don't know the level layout. And then we still have Snazzbang, obviously, which we probably don't need to equip, to be honest. Because, like Raisin just said, we can just rely on the game giving us a good version of this unit. So we might as well equip somebody else with this. Umano or Nimrod, I guess. Yeah, but Nimrod has enough crit rate, so that's a waste. Oh, you can wear that. Here we go. Okay, by the way, Giggs is also like pretty much maxed out to what I can do with a unit. I don't have units with legendary stars because that's too posh for me. Alright, so that's the idea. We're going to play Giggs, we're going to play Nimrod. If we can, depends a little bit on can we connect with the enemy without Katsume shooting us down. We're going to figure that out. So let's see. Okay, this is the map layout. I know this encounter. And honestly, I would love to be able to play Nixie here. That would be so good. That would be so good. Okay, This does not look good for the strategy that I had in mind. I was thinking this would be like some open map with like a shrine in the middle and like some steps and whatnot, but no, this is not what we're seeing here. Okay, so we need to play this a bit differently. The hardest part is going to be not taking damage. The not taking damage part we can only do by getting some summons courtesy of Giggs. Since we need to play rogues, I wonder, I wish I knew how strong these enemies are. Okay, so Umano's doing absolutely nothing for us, thanks to the level layout, thanks. Naevis is still a good choice. As far as I'm aware. Pari could be okay, suddenly. And also my Vera. We need all of the guys with range, which is quite weird. It's not what I had in mind at all. Okay, we can stop the guys in the middle with Snazzbang. We cannot stop the guys at the top. This is not... I don't like this at all. Do we have another good rogue here? Anyone? Nimrod. Yeah, if Katsuma attacks the first turn, we can strike back, strike hard with Nimrod. That could be an option here. What is... Gix is doing nothing here. Okay, Gix can actually shoot at the gunner at the top, because then we have 3 chances to get a powerful 3 chances to get a powerful summon. So that would be good. We can use Naevis to move it to the top. Then Pari can... Actually, Pari does nothing here. Yeah, Pari is not good here. Maybe on the bottom, I don't know. Okay. We could... Oh, do we first want to go in with Nimrul? Because we're out of range of the enemy. If we first go in with Nimrul here and we hit these 3 guys, then we could hit at the bottom with Gix. Because we do have 3 range, thanks to... I don't know. I don't know. I don't like this at all. Snazzbang could take care of the top. We could get some summons at the bottom. Nimrod could take out the middle. Gix needs to connect with the bottom. This looks alright. Not great, but alright. And then the only question is, how strong are the enemies? Because if they are too strong, we cannot do this. Tokon. Tokon is not a rogue. Sunshine and Repair. Sunshine. Oh, my Sunshine is only rare. My Sunshine is only rare. So he's gonna get one shot by Katsuma. Man, this seems like a relatively hard legendary encounter. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. I want to move them like this. Okay, you can... Okay, this looks like the enemies are not super strong, to be honest. So here we want to have a frog. Okay, we have 1 frog. Meh. Okay, we're too strong. Cool. Are you taking everybody out? How much damage are we doing? We're doing 505 to 615, and they have less than that. Okay, so my Vera is 5 guaranteed kills, basically. Almost. This one guy is in a shrub, right? Okay, that's pretty strong. Oh, we can hit the back. This might be really good. Okay, I think we are not supposed to move here. Ah, no, no, ow. Okay, we got it, but we don't get the perfect score. Okay, that was not the best attempt. Man, Katsume, can you not shoot at the frog? Would have been way better for you. All rogues, my bad. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay, let's equip some stuff around. So, my Vera was obviously pretty good. She is... Yeah, she's equipped. She's fine. Okay, my Vera we don't need to make any stronger. That was good. We could use Pilator. Oh, he's not a rogue. Sorry. Sorry, I always think he's a rogue. Sometimes I think he's a warrior. Honestly, I don't know what Pilator is. Is there anybody else? Monty. What do we do with Monty? Shun. Static Crackle. Static Crackle. I mean... What if we get really lucky with Snazzbang and he one-shots Katsuma? Is that an option? And if not, how do we connect with Katsuma for a second time? I don't see any option here. Oh, we can play Tanamo. We can play Tanamo. But how? She's not really doing anything here. I think need to try this one more time. Maybe get a little bit luckier with Nimrul. Since the enemies are not that strong, we should actually make him a bit weaker. Sometimes that's what's required. So now he's doing 459 with the crit. I think that's still too much. Now he's doing 304 with a crit. So the enemies had roughly 500 health. That seems like a fair amount of damage that he can do. So Nimrul could take out the guys at the front. But it doesn't really change anything, does it? We need summons. We need targets for Katsume. Or we need to kill her on the first turn. I think the best strategy here is hoping that Snazzbang crits. I don't really see any other chance here. Other than that... 1, 2, 3, yeah. Other than that, I think my strategy was fine. So let's try this one more time. Yeah, that worked definitely better than before. Okay, so all of these guys are done. You can hit the back. Or do we want to hit? No, Giggs cannot hit. No, Giggs doesn't have enough range. You take out these guys. So far, so good. And landmines. Here we go. Second attempt. I'm quite proud of myself. Woo! Okay, that was, in the end, it wasn't that hard. We had to get a bit lucky with the crit hits. I would love to watch that back, to be honest. But I didn't record it. But you guys saw it. I hope. So I guess that's how you do it. Let's see how reliable that works. Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Oh yes, we can have a cheap applause here. Woo. Let's try it. I just want to see if this was luck or if it's reproducible. So let's try it one more time. Nimrul goes in the middle. Doesn't kill the guy because we equipped him correctly. That's very important. You sometimes like equipping units is like what's most important here. Then Maivara takes care of these guys. My Maivara is only epic, so this should be like a good strategy for most of you. And then the big question is, yeah, with Snazzbang you need to get lucky. You need to get lucky with Snazzbang. He didn't crit here. I wonder if there's a difference whether we step back with Katsume, that the enemy then thinks, oh, I cannot go. Oh, here we go. Okay, yeah, there are different ways to make this work. Even when you don't crit, you can win this. That's good to know. Okay, this seems to be the best strategy. I'm pretty happy with the strategy. If you happen to have these units, I mean, everybody has Giggs, but you need to have a powerful Giggs, unfortunately. If you happen to have Giggs, if you happen to have an Aevis, Maivara, Snazzbang you obviously get from the game, and Nimrul is kind of required, unless you have like a super powerful Sunshine, but I don't see Sunshine killing 3 units that are standing in a row. But that's how you do it. That's how you do it. So that means we get the final chest. Oh yes, I've never done this before. That I finished the legendary encounter, and then instead of collecting the chest, I played it one more time. That's news. All right, here we go. 4,000 gold, some more Snazzbang shards. Oh, that's a lot of laurels, to be honest. 33. Is that normal? I don't think so. And that doesn't help me like directly. But I'm already at 118 again, and before this festival I was at 180. But that was with 3 stars. So Snazzbang has already gained another star thanks to this adventure. So I'm not complaining. That's just great. The unit just got like instantly much better. Alright, I don't think there's much else that we can do. Or actually there is some stuff that we can do. First of all, we can collect some chests here. Woo, more chests. Yay, thank you team. For 800 dust. Woo, that's good. Okay. Adventure festival. In case you didn't know, guys, I'm doing quite well in the festival. I'm currently in 14th position. I'm going relatively hard at this because I have a theory that nobody crunched the numbers properly, and that means that there's a chance that like the first 20 players are gonna walk away with a legendary. Now, don't quote me on this. I didn't do the maths. This is just me. Kind of spitballing, telling you what I think could be happening in this adventure, in this festival. Oh my god, I hate these 2 words. I'm always going to mix them up. So, if you're a new player, find a level that is right for you, that you can do with 4 skull difficulty, and you can get a lightning victory. If you're a veteran player like me, basically if you're like power level, I don't know, 23 or higher, you don't have a chance at this. So what you instead need to do is you need to find these encounters. You can see it here, I played them, most of them. And then you need to find one where the enemies have more than 100k power. Or in other words, when this says you can get 19 festival points. If you compare this, the next level, I played this one for example, I'm not playing because I can only get 18 festival points. Although this might actually be the encounter. Let me just quickly check this. No, this is not it. There's a couple of encounters that are tricky where I can get the max amount of points for a level, for a player that, with my power. I'm still trying to find the one where I can do this, but I'm gonna just show you how to do these levels. So there's a weird bug in the game at the moment that causes the game to forget when you had a lightning victory. So I'm just gonna show this to you guys. Let's go out with this encounter. So here you can see, okay, I get 19 points, and it says if I raid, then I get a score as if 0 characters were defeated, and score points for lightning victory if lightning victory has been previously achieved in this battle. So let's just assume, and it's a very fair assumption, that I've played this encounter before and I got a lightning victory. That means I spent 6 energy, that is 18 points. Then there's a difficulty is 1 star, so that's 20 points. Plus 4 for enemy power is 24 points. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's correct. So I should get 24 points if I rate this level. Let's rate it. And now I get 23 points. So now I'm like confused. Why is this happening? I lightning victory at this level before. So what you need to do, you go out, you go back into the level, and now you need to get a lightning victory and not lose a unit. Which is, I know this sounds maybe like a challenge to some of you, because you're relatively new. This is not a challenge if you're like a veteran player. I could try and figure out a lineup where I'm getting 4 skull difficulty. However, as soon as I tag 1 unit in, the dream is dead. The dream is dead. So I'm not even gonna try it, because I'm not confident that I can win this level without losing a unit, unless I'm going like hard at the encounter. So that's why we are playing these units. Like any good unit combination is fine. You can play like a fun unit like King Karan if you want to level them. The positive thing about this festival is actually I can do all my quests, which is an absolute first. I can never do all my quests while playing festival. Then you can do stuff like this, create some more darkness. Okay, then you look at the danger zone. Okay, enemies can move in here. Okay, we've seen this before. Create some more darkness and enemy turn. Alright, our shades are moving out. We are creating a bit more darkness. And then we do this. And I think this wasn't even the best play, because there would have been a chance to get a shade on board or something. I don't know, it doesn't matter. We have 2 more turns to get a lightning victory. If you're a veteran player, this is relatively easy. So now you do get the lightning victory. You got your 18 base energy plus 4 for the enemies, which is 24, plus 1 for lightning victory, which is, I don't know, 19 base energy. Let's look it up again. 18 base energy because of 6 stamina that we spent. 1 per difficulty makes it 19 points. 1 per difficulty for lightning victory makes it 20 points, and plus 4 for enemy power. Now we got it is 24 points. Okay, now go out of this encounter, and then I don't need to play it again. I can just raid it now, and now I get 24 points again. So this is a really weird takeaway, and this happens every time I close the app and open the app again. So if you want to get the maximum points, you have to play these encounters at least once. And then after you played them once, you can rate them if you don't want to play them. Because lots of people are too lazy to play, me included. So half the time at least. So that's like the base idea here. We're looking for another encounter that has like 19 points. Here we go, the Katsume boss level, which makes a lot of sense. She also gives you 19 points. I don't even care about the stuff that you get. I'm just looking for levels that I can play where I can get these 19 plus points as a veteran player. So, same strategy as before. This time we want to go here. You want to go here. Sure, why not here? And that's basically it. Then we can see that there's nothing happening here. Nobody's attacking us. On the first turn at least not. And that's it. That's enemy turn. Okay, everybody line up. Thank you very much. That's a good choice. And now we can go for the Darkness Dragon. Cool. That means that Katsume can no longer shoot now, because Katsume has an enemy next to her. So we can move here and give this guy hammer time, or straight up take him out. Yeah, that is also a fine choice. And I guess that's more or less it. Like I said, Katsume doesn't do anything because there's an enemy standing next to Katsume. So she's out of commission. And that's it. So now we get a lightning victory again. That should give us 24 points. And now after we got those 24 points, we can go out of the level and then basically rate the level or not. And get a few more of these 24 points. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm not saying this is super highly exciting, but this is what gets the job done and how I got my my festival points so far. We did some internal calculations inside our guild. The idea at the moment is that you need 3,000 festival points per day to get the legendary unit. This might be with additional purchases. So you have to purchase the festival chest going in, because it gives you extra florid payouts. And you might also have to pay for the chest at the end of the festival. I'm not sure about that yet. Like, nothing here is really defined, because the current... Somewhere we can see that. Where was that? That is... Here we go, yeah. The florid payouts we can see here. So if you have... What is it? 14 days, basically, times 3, that is 42. So we would get 42,000, which means we would end up here with this 220, oops, that's not the best idea I've had today, which would give us these 225 florets, festival florets, bonus points, whatever. That's where we want to go. And this should allow us to open all the chests until tier... I think it's 17, but I'm not sure. And here you can... No, you can't. Somewhere you can see when you get a chest. I don't remember that part. And Nakko has the data, and he basically crunched the numbers, and that's what we came up with. Something else I've already shown you guys in one of my last videos is you can, in Arena, make sure that you get 4 skull opponents all the time. So let's just quickly write this down. This is my... the 2 gem refreshes here. Okay, we are at 5 days 9 hours in the season, and my enemy is 3rd while I am 34th. Okay, and we are going to go get 42 points. The name is Cataclysm. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I need to keep track of my scores for internal purposes, but I shared those. If you're interested about this stuff, I actually put this on the Discord today because people were asking about this. Here on the official Discord, in PvP Arena, there were some questions about how to finish #1 Legend League, and I tried to break it down, try to explain it all. People were seriously complaining that I posted like white Excel stuff. I mean, I'm just assuming that people are using Discord in dark mode, like a normal person. This is coming from a person that is using Twitch in light mode, which is not the usual way. Alright, so I tried to break it all down. So if you're interested in how to be #1 in Legend League, read PvP Arena on the official Discord. If you don't know how to get to the official Discord, go to the home button, go to settings, and then in settings there's a Discord button. Here, click that. Click that. Click it right now if you've never done this before. Join the Discord, you will learn so much about this game, even how to be #1 in Arena. Okay, so let's quickly go up against this opponent. We can see that he has 970,000 power, which is great, because that means we can bring our A-team and we will still have four skulls. I love enemies with high power ratings. So we can play this. We need... Tim is his name on this map. And you need to go here. I think that's it. yeah, and we can still, as you can see, we still get a 4 skulls difficulty, which means 30 points for the festival. So now the strategy here is to go 1 down, hit Dorga, okay, cool. Then we can move here, yep. Then we can bring horses in, and then after we brought horses in, we can hit everybody with Tim Tim. And that normally gives us a few more skeletons, as you can see. And yeah, that's it, because we don't need to go for the special when Akio is the only enemy. It just makes more sense to even not go for the special here. And then, bam. Okay, 30 festival points. Thanks very much. Cool. And so that was easy. It was easy to get a good amount of festival points for this enemy. If your own power ranking is lower, of course, this is also relatively easy to do. Also, what's with Sigrid today? What is happening? Why is the entire day the server seems to be down? Yeah, this happens a lot at the moment. You have to switch between tabs and stuff to get this done. If you happen to have a stronger, weaker opponent, that where you don't get the 4 skull difficulty that easily, you might have to go through great lengths and play some weaker units. So I've learned this the hard way. Do not go with units that are too weak. Like somewhere you need to draw the line. Because losing a battle gives 0 festival points. And well, what can I say? Only getting 20 festival points is better than getting 0 festival points. So just make sure that you're not gonna walk away with a loss. That's also kind of important. So let's try and find a good opponent. And this is all basically like described, broken down in the Discord, like I said. Man, Sigrid, what's happening, man? Or woman. Yeah, you need to re-roll for good opponents because you get more points. Unfortunately, this is very costly. If you wanna go for the top spot, you kind of have to do this. Also, you shouldn't play when you're 14th. You should play when you're like between 30 and 40, because when you're between 30 and 40, you still have a chance to go up against the highest ranked opponents. Like when you get really lucky, you sometimes still go up against the first guy, like first placed opponent. When you're like out of 40, top 50, there's no chance you're gonna go up against number 1. Like once in a lifetime. It doesn't really happen. So it makes more sense to fall back to 30 and then re-roll until you go up against the first placed opponent anymore. And boy, oh boy, what is happening with the arena this week. This week is gonna be like a struggle. I'm never gonna be sitting on 14 tickets because I'm just not gonna risk it that the arena is down for 5 hours. Because this could happen. Also, another piece of advice for you guys. Don't sit on too many tickets because there's a chance that the arena is gonna be down for 5 hours. I'm not even joking. Alright, apparently we are not allowed to see how to get more points in arena. This was supposed to be a very short stream today. I mean, this is relatively short. We could play Onslaught, but let's not do that. I need my Onslaught tickets for another quest in the festival, which is going to happen very soon. I'm now going to try and break into the top 10. Is that realistic? Oh, that's just 3 or 4 fights. Okay, I guess... Oh my god, there's a big gap after Mir to the next player. Seems like the top 9 are like in a league of their own. And then there's another gap here. Jesus. And another gap here. Okay. Top 10 sounds like a good goal. Or staying like slightly out of top 10. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. You guys now know how to play the festival. I'm going to add some timestamps to this thing maybe tomorrow. I'm not going to do this today because we went through all of the encounters very quickly in the first half of this video. Hope this helped. Hope you guys are going to cruise easily into an epic unit. Or if you're shooting for the stars, basically, like me, in a way, then you get it as a legendary. If I'm not getting it as a legendary, this is the last festival where I really tried. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the new point payment. Like, in the last couple of festivals, I ended with 16k points. I'm already at 13k points after 3 days in the festival. That's just ridiculous. It's just so generous. Thanks a lot, Snowprint. I would love for us to have some more tiered rewards. I know this is now very like complaining at a very high level. Is what they say in German. Like if you are like halfway between epic and legendary, then you get like one more epic badge at the end. or you do get the legendary badge, so you only need to collect like 1 million shards until you can like advance the unit. Something like that would be cool. By no means a must, because these new payments, the new payout is a lot more, well, a lot nicer than what we had in the past, in my opinion. Alright, that's it for today's stream, guys. I really need to go to bed. I'm dead tired. Just wanted to record this for you so you can do well in this adventure. See you guys very soon. Hopefully on the official Discord or in the arena. When do you usually stream? I'll join the next one. Yeah, like when there's an adventure, I try to get these out as fast as possible. Normally on the second day of the adventure. Normally I would have published this video or done the stream tomorrow and also give you guys a bit more of an advance warning. Like, I don't know, announce at 10 in the morning that at 2 PM there's going to be a stream or something like that. So you have at least like some warning. But I don't stick to a schedule because unfortunately I can't at the moment. I have too many real life responsibilities that I cannot say, hey, this time every week I'm going to be streaming, because it also depends a lot on what the game is doing. Like if there's cool content, then I will try to play, but I'm currently done with Onslaught. There's no more Onslaught for me at the moment. I can only replay Forsaken Fortress, and that's not super exciting, even though it's cool. Yeah, so at the moment there's not much to do. If there's another tournament arena, I'm definitely going to stream that again. Although I tend to play like a lot worse when I'm live streaming this. But you can of course subscribe to the channel and also ring the bell. Then you get like a notification when I go live, as far as I'm aware. Hope that helps. Alright, that's really it. Thanks so much. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you had a good time. And then we see each other again next time for either the next adventure or a hero preview or whatever else is new in Rivengard. I'm going to be covering it. Have a good night, everyone.